Hello and welcome to this new video where we explore one of Sacha Guitry's most ambitious project, the portrait of Napoleon's life in a 3 hours film. It is worth to remark that this is the only French film to embrace Napoleon's whole life. The movie was shot from June 14th to October 30th, 1954 and released in France on March 25th, 1955. This was the costliest movie ever done in France at that date, with an estimated cost of $1.8 million, some 21 millions in today's money. It was part of the Franco-Italian co-production movement of the time to compete with Hollywood. The movie was a success in France, with 81,000 viewers in the first week and a total of 5.4 million spectators in France alone. The movie assembled an impressive cast of cinema stars that included all the big names in France of the 1950s, as Michel Morgan in the role of Joséphine de Beauharnais, Jean-Pierre Aumont in the role of Michel Louis Etienne, Jean Gabin as Marshal Lannes, Pierre Brasseur in the role of Barras, Yves Montand in the role of Maréchal Lefebvre, Henri Vidal as Marshal Murat, and some international figures like Orson Welles, who portrayed Napoleon's British jailer, Maria Schell as Marie-Louise of Austria, and Erich von Stroheim as Ludwig van Beethoven. In some cases, just for cameos like Danielle Darrieux playing the role of Éléonore Denuel, Napoleon's mistresses, and the mother of his first son, Charles Léon. Aged 70 and full of vitality, Sacha Guitry not only directed the movie and wrote the screenplay, but also co-starred as Charles Maurice de Talleyrand, Napoleon's foreign minister. Also one of the producers, Clément Duhour, played the role of Marshal Ney. Numerous scenes of the movie were shot at historical locations, especially at the French estates of Fontainebleau, Malmaison and the Palace of Versailles, and on Napoleonic battlefields such as Austerlitz and Waterloo. For the role of Napoleon, Guitry decided to have two actors to interpret him, one for the young Bonaparte and a second one for the mature Napoleon. Young Bonaparte was played by Daniel Jelen, and the second role was played by Raymond Pellegrin, who also played Napoleon in 1963 in the movie Imperial Venus. Pellegrin commented in an interview how he was hired for the role. Quote, "It was in 1954 and 1955. I was in Rome, where I was making a film with Lola Brigida. I was called on the telephone from Paris. I am Sacha Guitry, my interlocutor told me. Would you agree to play the role of Napoleon in an upcoming film? I didn't know him. His voice was easy to imitate. I thought it was a joke from a friend and I replied, 'Who is the idiot calling me?' He insisted, 'I am Sacha Guitry. Come and see me when you get back to Paris.' I went. We stayed together for 2 hours, chatting about this and that. Then he concluded, 'You are my Napoleon.'" The switch between actors happens in an iconic scene during a haircut, where Bonaparte is transformed into Napoleon.
J'ai reçu, monsieur, votre lettre. Je vous remercie des choses honnêtes que vous dites.
It is interesting the fact that in the cast, the barber is listed just as Antonio, for sure a real barber himself. The movie stars on the day Talleyrand receives the news that Napoleon had died, and he agrees to tell his life story to a few friends on the condition that he could do it his own way, which is more Guitry's way rather than Talleyrand's. Then he becomes a narrator for his audience and for the spectators, depicting self-contained vignettes of Napoleon's life. Weaving a tapestry of theatrical scenes mixing small and large stories, Guitry maintains constantly the interest of the audience. Helping him in this endeavour appears Louis-Antoine Fauvelet de Bourrienne, played by Bernard Derrand, who contributes with details of Napoleon's school time and early career, and General Armand Augustin Louis de Caulaincourt, played by Roger Pigot, with eyewitness accounts for Napoleon's Russian campaign. An English dub was made as part of the original production, but is significantly shorter than the French version, lasting just 2 hours, 2/3 of the French version. In doing so, some scenes were shortened, in particular the battle ones, the preparation for the coronation in 1805, and the Napoleon and Josephine divorce scene. Others were totally removed, such as the Battle of Marengo and the scene of Napoleon visiting the deadly wounded Marshal Lannes at the Battle of Essling. For a 1950 movie, it is acceptable to include a music scene. This one is performed by the renowned Spaniard singer Luis Mariano during a visually impressive party. Also, it is understandable to include a dancing scene to portray the extravagance of the revolutionary new aristocracy, although it was just 2.5 minutes after the music scene. Okay, that's fine. But having not one but 3 marshals singing a lullaby to the emperor while he is sleeping at the bivouac, I believe that's too much for me. A scene that catch my eye is this one. Not for Napoleon's metamorphosis, but for the attitude of Napoleon's bodyguard, Rustem. Watch him standing at the right of the screen, in a relaxed position with his right hand at his back. And suddenly, when Antonio the barber grabs the razor, he wields his sword in a threatening attitude. Come on, Rustem, it's just a haircut. Please don't kill the barber. But wait a minute. This actor bears no resemblance to Rustem. Judging by the portraits of him, Rustem was an Indo-European, although they later used a more similar actor, but in the scenes of Napoleon's exile on Elba. However, Rustem refused to accompany Napoleon in his exile, so I don't quite understand who appears in that scene. Regarding to battle scenes, it is impossible to cover all of Napoleon's battles in a 3-hour movie, but Guitry portrays in more detail the ones he considered more important as the Siege of Toulon, the battles of Arcola, Austerlitz, and Waterloo. Anyway, some short scenes are included for Marengo, Elchingen, Jena, Aspern, and Wagram, and a brief reference to the battles of the Pyramids, Eylau, Dresden, and Leipzig. But the battles in Guitry's movie will be the subject of our next video. In summary, Guitry's movie is like a large canvas full of brush strokes to cover Napoleon's whole life. Some brush strokes are more detailed, like Napoleon's early career and rise to power, and the love affairs that shaped his life and influenced politics in France. Guitry is more keen on showing us Napoleon's success than his failures, which he combines with visual impressive scenes of the First Empire ostentatious luxury style. In all, it's a classic which is, in our opinion, worth watching, also to enjoy Guitry's particular style. If you are interested in watching the full movie, you can find the links in the description below. That's all from our side. We hope you liked this video, and if so, we'll appreciate you give us a like and leave your opinion of this movie in the comments, and don't forget to share it in your social media and with your friends. It will help us grow the channel. Until next time, be safe and fine.